to Greyhound Hollow in Statesville, North Carolina. Statesville High School, the site of tonight's NPSL Southeast Conference matchup between Statesville FC, the Herd, and Bristol Rhythm AFC. A massive match this evening. Implications galore. But first, we'll start with the standings. Bristol Rhythm, 8-0 on the season. They are the #1 team, not only in the Southeast Conference, this is the #1 team in the NPSL. An opportunity to win a coveted, vaunted NPSL regular season title only has been done once before in Southeast Conference history. That was, of course, back in 2016. Chattanooga FC went 9-1-0. Bristol, the only unbeaten, untied team in all of the NPSL. Statesville FC tonight, sitting in 4th, second on points per game. They are able, with a win, to jump to second place and host a playoff game. 865 Lions and the Greenville United both have clinched their playoff spots. They await the results of tonight's match to get their playoff seeding. All 4 teams will be in the playoffs in the Southeast Conference for the first time in franchise history. Take a look at this remaining schedule. Last week, obviously, Bristol with a come-from-behind victory over Burlington. Statesville tied Greenville. 865 tied Charlottetown Hops, which leads us to today. Tonight, Statesville against Bristol Rhythm AFC. Charlottetown plays with Burlington on Friday. Bristol finishes the season Saturday on July 4th. The opportunity for a 10-0 season. Never been done in the history of the Southeast Conference. So first, let's start with the Statesville FC Herd starting 11.
Number 12, Slade Danford. Number 11, Will Porter. Number 18, Danny Carroll.
In goal, Caleb Trogdon continues his starting streak.
Dominic Sanchez.
In the back, Killian Sila,
Number
starting
23,
right back.
Abraham Curry.
Josh Aguirre will be center back, pairing with Callum Hudson from England, and Soren LaRue at left back. Eli Curry steps in for his first start at center D-mid. Seydou Tegera, as featured last week, steps into the starting 11 tonight. Dominic Sanchez, Blake Hooker, Slate Danforth in the midfield, and Danny Carroll, the Superman from Exeter, England, is up front. As you see substitutes tonight, Joe Lewis, Julian Sagnon, Carter Nipple, Carell Bunijic, Justin Ortiz, Anthony Ramirez, and Chris Kelly.
82nd Airborne.
Bristol Rhythm. They will start a familiar 11. Noel DeMont starts in goal. He has been rotating all season with Florian Klost, Volbeck, Martinez, Clemmer, Kellerhouse, Garcia, Slynn, Edwards, Thompson in the starting lineup, and Chill and Booth.
Rocky is a member of the North Carolina Military Hall of Fame, a proud statesman native,
what is at stake in the match?
Singer-songwriter Rocky Lynn.
With a win, Statesville FC will clinch 2 seed.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag has still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This our 250th anniversary of our nation's independence. What is at stake today? A win for Statesville FC guarantees a 2 seed and a home playoff match. A massive opportunity for the inaugural club to host a home playoff match, something that's not been done very often in the Southeastern Conference. A draw, well, that will be a 3 seed and a road playoff game. We will determine, as the NPSL doesn't always pick based on seeding, sometimes it's based on location, and a loss would be a 4 seed and a road playoff game. Now, Bristol Rhythm, as we mentioned before, they are undefeated, and that alone is something to behold. 8-0 on this young season, the best team in all of the NPSL. Opportunity to make history, as no team in the Southeast Conference, which started back in 2008 in the NPSL, has ever gone unbeaten and untied. We've had plenty of teams go unbeaten, 5 to be exact. There's been 2 national champions, 5 times the NPSL Southeast Conference representatives has lost in the national title. But no one, not even last year's epic Hickory FC team, has gone 10-0 on the season. So that is what is at stake tonight as we prepare for the final match of the Statesville FC inaugural season here in Greyhound Hollow. Thanks for joining me. I'm Brian Buckauer.
All the goalie saves tonight will be brought to you by the sponsor Alarm South, protecting the Carolinas and protecting what you bear.
And as always, our drone today brought to you by True North Aerial Imaging. Stanley Parker has been with us all season. Hopefully we get one more week with him. Wednesday, July 8th is the next playoff match, regardless of today's events. Will there be here in Greyhound Hollow, or will it be down the street in Greenville, or in, not in Greenville, in Bristol, or in Oak Ridge, Tennessee? Those are the possibilities. Both teams get ready for the match. I believe the referee today is a referee we've had before, although NPSL does not give us the names. I do believe I recognize. Other storylines to watch in this match. Danny Carroll currently leading the Southeast Conference Golden Boot Race. He has got 7. Evangelos Papadroupis, he has 6 and an opportunity on July 3rd to add to his tally. Step 1, though, tonight for the Herd. That win, 3 points, and a home playoff match. Fans trickling into Greyhound Hollow, one of the hottest days of the year. I still don't think it's as hot as that day a couple of weeks ago. We do expect a hydration break at some point, as we've gotten used to those this season with the World Cup. So it looks like Statesville FC will have the opening kick. As we get prepared to go underway in the Herd, Bristol FC. One team searching for immortality, another team searching for a home playoff match, and a perfect start, I would say, in their inaugural season. So Statesville FC underway, kicks it back to newcomer Tangera, Seydou Tangera. They work it around the back to Callum Hudson. We'll take a look to see how much they're able to work on that left side, the French connection of Blake Potter and Soren Leroux over there. Noé de Mott for the Rhythm, playing back and forth. Ball into Nathan Booth. He's speedy, someone to watch out for. That will go all the way back, I believe, to Vorbeck. Rhythm working down that right side. We find Patrick Enshill. Enshill beats his man. Aguirre finds the middle. Ball left for Elliot Edwards. Oh, and Caleb Trogdon. Caleb Trogdon. That's an alarm save of the match so far. Caleb Trogdon shuts down Elliot Edwards. And that was a excellent opportunity, unfortunately, for Bristol Rhythm. First shot on net by Elliot Edwards. He had an absolute dime versus Greenville United a few weeks ago up in Bristol. So now it's time for a Jeremiah's Italian ice corner kick. Ball goes to the front post. Caleb Trogdon comes out, wins that. Ball went away. Looks like that's Slate Danforth. Danforth beats his man. Now we've got a 2-on-1 going the other way. Opportunity for the Herd. Danforth looking for his man. Oh, and that's defended well. Tried to find Danny Carroll. Was not able to get there. I believe that was Warbrick on the defense. And we're going to get an offside. Oh, excuse me. That was Clamler. Hugo Clamler. Absolute last-minute tackle there. Slate maybe could have left a little bit in terms of led a little bit more, but good defense. For the Rhythm. So Herd back in control. LaRue plays a deep ball to the corner. That will be picked up. I don't know. The Rhythm only allowed 5 goals so far this season. The record, that's a foul on the Herd, record in the 10-game season in the Southeast Conference, 7 goals allowed. So a few records for Bristol chasing in their quest for the invincible season. Immortality, if you may. So, 3 minutes in. Still 0-0. Martinez. Down to Warbrick. Warbrick back to Martinez. Jack Newman usually starts in the back line for Bristol, so interesting to see Warbrick. He can have any act. If he and Martinez are able to create a nice partnership. Ball out of bounds there. Last off of Dominic Sanchez. Be a throw for the Rhythm. Lama to Booth. Brave header by Eli Curley. Alexander Central. Highly rated by Coach Conley. Soren LaRue wins it. Comes inside with it. Finds Silla. Silla back to Aguirre. Aguirre. Josh Aguirre. Dominic Sanchez. Tries to beat his man. Does. Sanchez. Down the line. Has one more man to beat. Slate Danforth gets bullied off the ball by Warbrick. Good physical play by Warbrick. And the Rhythm will bounce an attack. Ball into Enshill. Forced to come back. Excellent defense by the Herd. All over the top, looking for Nathan Booth. He can win those. Sealand's going to have his hands full. Seydu. Tangera gets in there. Defense. Aguirre. Say fortunate, but wins the ball. And here comes Tangera. Shorts Danny Carroll. Danny Carroll goes for the flick. Doesn't off. And back to the Rhythm. Shout out to our broadcast partners, WAME Radio. Display the internet every game, as well as our Saturday weekly Statesville NC soccer show. Be sure to check us out. We have guest coaches, players, sponsors. Sometimes it's just me talking for 30 minutes. But either way, come join us on the Statesville NC soccer show at WAME. Long throw on the far side now for Rhythm. Back and forth match here, both opportunities. Statesville, one pass away. Go back though, the Caleb Trogdon save on the Ellen Edwards shot. That was the best opportunity so far. And a huge save it's turned out to be. Statesville, as we all know, 0-1-5 when they allowed the first goal. Undefeated 4-0-0 when scoring. First, I think, was the I-40 Derby against Hickory.
Don't forget the Instagram is the Gala Air home team. Keller Williams of Statesville will present the
saw a lot of
Gala
that last
Air
match. That was a rainy match.
home
This
team
is
player
hot.
of the game.
This is your typical North Carolina summer heat.
Thank you to all of our game
Glad we went to the beach 2 weeks ago. It would be terrible. Aguirre dribbles to the middle. Goes to the outside to LaRue. LaRue back to Hudson. And they'll reset. Aguirre tries to break the lines. Can't, but Danforth picks up the second ball. Danforth is dispossessed. That time by Kai Slid, the Bristol Rhythm captain. Kai Slynn and James Baku not in the starting lineup, but he is on the bench. They've both been part of this Bristol Rhythm team 3 years now. They go to nearby Millikan College, so an opportunity for this group has been with the Bristol Rhythm from the start to make a name and a season to remember. Nathan Booth chips it in. Patrick Incho goes. Yes, Incho goes back to the middle. Nobody there. Another opportunity for Bristol. And Statesville survives. Eli Curley. Slate Danforth chips over as a Potter. Danny Carroll fighting. That kid will not stop fighting, and he gets the call. I really, if you haven't yet, I recommend listening to his podcast. About 3 weeks back, he joined us. We ran out of time. He was so inspirational. Such a good head for just a young man. He can get that golden boot this year, and we get that second place in Statesville. Turnover, though. Rhythm coming the other way. They've been dangerous. Booth charged on the outside. Inchill. He's going to take a speculative effort from about 20, 30 out. This time he plays it to the outside for OK Gracia. Back to Inchill. Slid. There's Gracia. And that's 3 points.
Shot goes over the goal.
Genesis Fitness.
That'll be a Genesis Fitness goal kick.
Five minutes into the match. Statesville FC. Bristol Rhythm. Undefeated Bristol Rhythm. Something no one has ever done in the history of the Southeast Conference. 10-0 in a 10-game season. All stuck in midfield right now, both teams trying to win possession. Slynn does come out with it, goes back, and then we reset. Genius. Slynn plays up to Keller Halls. Now, okay, Gracia. Orbit, Martinez. Hold on the line, no one there. Booth beats City, it's a foot race, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Rhythm. Jeremiah's Italian Ice corner kick.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice corner kick.
Reminding the fans of no free home treat after every home win.
Get fans cool off with a bull run blast, the official Statesville FC flavor.
You get one after every home broadcast, then we have a win, and they are delicious.
Free treat after every home win, thanks to Jeremiah.
Corner kick.
Italian Ice.
Delivered in the middle. That's a good delivery. Kept away by the Herd. Elliot Edwards slams that back in, but swept away. Kai Slynn just falls down. Danny Carroll now with a chance. Forced to the outside. And they're going to slow it down, but maintain possession. Dominic Sanchez tries to beat his man inside. Can't. Good tackle by the Rhythm. Well, that's Clamler. And Slynn comes back. Slynn slipped there. That almost was dangerous. Clamler able to chase that back. Clamler playing a lot further up than we normally see him. Plays that left back, a little bit of left wing back. So Nathan Booth is a little further back today. Rhythm though on the attack. Ball clipped in, that's nice. Josh Aguirre though. Nicely done.
Hey for the Herd.
Statesville FC, since Aguirre has joined the team, only given up that 2 goals to Mint Hill, 1 goal to Mint Hill and 1 goal to Greenville United. He has been part of this turnaround. Kickoff. So dangerous free kick opportunity for Bristol Rhythm right outside the 18 to the left of the D. Wall being set up. Elliot Edwards and Kai Slint standing over it. Elliot Edwards, he can
Free
hit
kick
these.
for Bristol Rhythm.
The question here is it direct or indirect? And it's a direct kick. So Elliot Edwards is going to take it. We're going to go to that top right. And that is wide.
Shot goes wide of the goal.
Dangerous opportunity. Bristol Rhythm knocking on the door. A few corner kicks, and Elliot Edwards shot parried by Caleb Trogdon, and now an Elliot Edwards free kick right at the top of the 18. And the Bristol Rhythm showing why they are the top team in the Southeast Conference.
Drinks, nachos, key. All proceeds help the Statesville Booster Club.
Aguirre finds Danny Carroll. Danny Carroll absolutely gets fouled there. Him and Coque Gracia. Sportsmanship after attack. Aguirre forced to go back to Trogdon. Now let's watch to see if Statesville can set up their patented left side attack. Hudson. LaRue. Who's going to come in? Oh no, that's not a good. Turned over in the midfield. Slid finds Booth. Booth's. Aguirre is able to tackle. Here comes Leg Poiter now. Poiter on the outside. He's got Kellerholz. Goes for the big switch. Dominic Sanchez. It's just going to be a bit too much. And that will be a throw for the Rhythm. So, quarter rounder in here. 0-0. Opportunities for Bristol Rhythm. Statesville FC not exactly in an attacking mode. They've had some opportunities in terms of chances, but nothing concrete. Not been able to get into the attacking third. This Bristol Rhythm side is controlled this early first half. Ball to over the top. And inside, Elliot Edwards. They're gonna be looking for him in the middle all day. He can't find the shot. Goes the other way. Lloyd Poiter now tries to take some space. Does. Finds Danny Carroll. Poiter beats his man. And Danny Carroll thought something different, and they're not on the same page. The traditional English-French rivalry accidentally rears its head again. Needs some space in the middle, finds Slid. Slid's able to turn, but not able to do anything with it. Forced to go back to Martinez. Martinez tries to make Danforth miss. Oh no, Booth has got some space there. And Aguirre with the tackle. But that is a
Keep it up, Nate!
goal kick. Wow. Aguirre. What a play for Aguirre. Take a look at that here in a second. What a tackle there by Aguirre. So, Statesville FC hanging on right now. A lot of opportunities for the Bristol Rhythm. Seydou Tangera goes to the outside, can't find Dominic Sanchez. And the Rhythm will attack again. Clamor back to Martinez. Martinez on the way outside to Vorbeck. They find Kai Slin. Kai Slin is everywhere on the field. He comes back to get it. He goes forward. See, this team is built around his ability in the midfield, as well as Nathan Booth and Patrick Enchill's absolute speed. I've seen some of their finishes as well. Top-notch players. Right now, just able to control as they slowly move it up the field. The undefeated 8-0 Bristol Rhythm. 2 games left for immortality. Tonight in the herd. Stop that. Ball now works for the far side. Bristol way too easily has moved it down the pitch. Slynn now. Forced to go back to Martinez, but they'll be okay with that. Martinez now takes space in the middle. That's the center back. Finds Elliot Edwards. Edwards goes for a one-touch and does not go off the way he wants. Defended well, though, by the herd. And that will be a throw.
Throwing for the Rhythm.
Clamler. Lorenzo Clamler's ball is deflected away.
All right, let's go.
Sila bailed out there by Aguirre. Bristol continues this relentless pursuit of a goal. The herd right now really stuck behind the 8 ball a bit, as the Bristol has just been in rhythm, pun intended, early on in this first half. Lorenzo Clamler is able to find Gracia. Gracia drops it back to Slynn. Slynn, good D though by Danforth. All floated in by Gracia. He was onside, and Caleb Trogdon, the save.
Save for the herd.
So another Alarm South save for Caleb Trogdon. First save made on Elliot Edwards was a beauty. That one not near as difficult, but still needed the steady hands. Callum Hudson finds Danny Carroll in the slot. This time goes out to Porter. Porter, can he keep it in? He does. Counterattack now for the herd. Porter, you know he can beat his man. If he does, what he'll do, he cuts with the outside of his foot, clips it through the middle, and no, Slade Danforth can't find it. But you know Porter's going to travail that on the outside of his foot. That's his favorite play, back into the middle. Opportunity for the herd. Statesville finally some attack. Ball on the far outside. Fake taken by LaRue. Top of the key. Kai Slynn's ball. Aguirre with the defense. And another throw for Bristol.
Good up, brother!
Long throw. Booth can't get to it. Sly can, though, in the middle. Nice little move by Elliot Edwards. He takes another shot, and that's saved by Caleb Trogdon. Alarm South save. Oh, goodness. Elliot Edwards is getting closer and closer. Aguirre back to Hudson. Hudson makes his man miss. Forced to play along, nobody there. For the rhythm. Ball back to that far side. Eli Curley forced to make a sliding play to keep that getting back to the middle, and Kai Slynn. So Bristol will have the throw. Very hot day out there. Statesville wins the throw. They're going to force them back. No, they're going to give that to Bristol. Okay, Gracia. Tries to find inroads, but forced back. Elliott Edwards. Sneaky through ball. Kai Slynn. Caleb Trogdon's there, and another save for Caleb Trogdon. And that's going to be a goal kick. Caleb Trogdon has been incredible back there tonight.
Brings another Genesis Fitness goal kick. Don't forget, fans, stick around.
Take another look at that on the next dead ball. Caleb Trogdon right now, early man of the match contender. Quite a few major saves, some big stops, and right there forced Kai Slynn to think about it. Ball there, he's onside. Loic Potter finds Danny Carey on the middle. They've got more men on the other side. Here comes a dead run, and that is a goal! That is a goal! That is a goal! Statesville FC, the Herd have taken the lead! What a goal and what a finish for Statesville FC as a replay of the game in Bristol, except reverse it. Bristol in charge all match, and right there, Statesville able to get the goal. Something out of nothing, incredible. Let's take a look at the replay of the goal. I believe it was Dominique Sanchez who's on the back post. So Statesville FC gets the early goal. They have been undefeated when scoring first this season in the inaugural year. So a 1-0 lead early on, the undefeated Bristol Rhythm. I mean, I've mentioned it already once. Only have allowed 5 goals all season long. That's number 6. They're going as well for least goals allowed in a 10-game season, most wins in a 10-game season, the regular season championship. This is a team you do not count out, the Bristol Rhythm. Throw, though, for Killian Sela. Goes short to Sanchez. Stanforth gets caught there in a bit of a traffic jam. Clamler comes out with it. They go for the 1-2. He was off. Yep. Elliott Edwards offside.
Offside, going against the Rhythm.
Let's go, Rhythm!
So offside. Called. Josh Aguirre will take the free kick. And Statesville FC up 1-0 on the undefeated Bristol Rhythm early here in the first half. If the World Cup's taught us anything, long way to go in this match. Statesville now happy to be patient. Aguirre all the way over to Hudson. Hudson looking for Dominique Sanchez, can't find him. Second ball will go out of bounds instead, and Sela will go with the throw. Finds Danforth. Danforth forced into a traffic jam, but it looks like he might come out with it. Almost does. Oh, Coque Gracia, that was an amazing tackle. And a foul there on Aguirre on Patrick Enshow, and that's probably the smarter decision with that young man's speed.
Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the merch stand is open. The merch stand is open.
So Kai Slynn on the ball. Plays it out wide, can't find it, turned over, and here comes the Herd. Ball by Danforth to Danny Carroll. And a little too much on that. And it'll go all the way back.
Also, since it is hot, we need to stay hydrated, guys. The concession stands are open. That's right, concession stands are open, as well as Genesis
Clamor.
Fitness hydration station. That's right. We have
to Vorbrick. Vorbrick is going to take the space given.
for you to stay hydrated here in the Greyhound Hollow.
Plays it into Thompson.
Also, this
Thompson and Keller House.
water drinking,
Try to
Genesis Fitness, you also
connect, but can't.
to be in the unadjusted challenge.
And Bristol
Win-win situation here for
stuck
everyone.
now in their own end.
As well as Statesville NC is gonna win tonight.
Ooh, nice dance inside by Clamler. And Seydou Tangera takes him down. And looking at Bristol's bench, they do have a lot of the normal starters. James Baku, Jack Newman, Grayson Hammond, all on the bench available. So this one not a long way to go here. If you're a Rhythm fan at home, still a lot of chances still to be had. I believe they've had about 2 or 3 wins in the 90-plus minute as they've extended the streak.
Genesis Fitness goal kick.
So a Genesis Fitness goal kick. Amazing crowd here. Some of the fans out with umbrellas to keep the sun out, but it looks like the sun has retreated to the other side of the field. And the fans here enjoying their bull run blasts, as well as the other refreshments you can get in the Hollow. Throw on the far side for Bristol. The game is slowed down just a bit as the heat is always going to affect this match as it continues. Depth will be tested, and one would say that the depth for Bristol, with many starters on the bench, is Coke, Gracia, dances to the midfield. Elliot Edwards, you know he's looking to shoot. Far side, and that is Keller Halls. Deflected away by Potter. Edwards. Stolen away by the Herd. Danny Carroll. Oh, that's dirty. That was in the back. He wasn't even paying attention. Some places that's a yellow card. Not here tonight. Take a quick look at that replay. Elliot Edwards had that nice run right across the middle. Stolen away. Lazy ball by Danny Carroll to Blake Potter, but he's not even paying attention. Extends the elbow. I would argue Diego Thompson lucky to get away with that. Didn't play the ball. Extended his elbow. Played through a man that had no intentions or understanding that he was going to get hit in the back. All right, Diego. Back pass. And Hugo Martinez gets it back to Delmo. Surprised no Florian Quast here. Those two have been rotating all season. Maybe he's not able to travel during the week, as we've learned in the NPSL. That does happen with some players. Ball through, and I don't know who it was. I believe that was 33 who we've added into the game.
Time for the official hydration break.
That's a hydration break. Yep, that's Anthony Ramirez, actually, who was coming to the game. Did not notice him checking in. Anthony Ramirez has come in, I think, for Eli Curley. Not quite sure. So 1-0 right now. Statesville FC up in the 30th minute during the hydration break.
Head on there and pick up some official team gear.
So far, the early chances have fallen to Bristol. However, Statesville able to capitalize on really their only attempt on net.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this time to thank some of our titles.
We believe it was Dominique Sanchez. We'll have to go back and check the tape.
FGWH Insurance. Hunk of Junk Paul.
But a decent crowd and able to come out in today's heat.
Alarm South.
It is a hot one.
Carolina Crossroads Dental Care. Iredell Free News. Emerge Ortho. Knox Roofing.
So Statesville FC
And as well as our
Bristol Rhythm
KK sponsors, Gallagher,
on the line, an undefeated season
Genesis
for
Fitness,
the Rhythm. On the line for Statesville F2, a 2 seed.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Brightway FX. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And now it's time for another exciting extra first half here, the rest of the first half here in Greyhound Hollow.
Reminder to everybody at home while we're in this hydration break, what's at stake? A win for the Herd is a 2 seed in the playoffs and the home game. A draw or loss, 3 or 4 seed, doesn't really matter, but that will be a road playoff game. 8-6-5 would take the 2 seed as they have tiebreaker over both Statesville and Greenville 3-0 this season against the two of us. So 8-6-5 would be the 2 with a draw or a loss. Greenville will be the 3 with a loss.
That's right.
And of course, Bristol Rhythm 8-0-0, only undefeated team in the entire NPSL. El Farolito lost, I believe Drew, excuse me. So you were looking at the best team in the NPSL against the 2 seed right now in the Southeast Conference.
Greyhound Hollow for Statesville NC on the
Now there's been unbeaten teams in the Southeast, but they have never been unbeaten and untied. Last year's Hickory FC team, 9 wins, 1 draw. They went 5-0 on their way in the playoffs to the national title. Appalachian in 2024, 8 wins, 2 draws. Chattanooga in 2016. The New Orleans Jesters in 2017. Chattanooga way back in 2010. All went undefeated, but all had at least 1 loss in their record. Back to play as the first half continues. Rhythm right back to that right side. Nathan Booth and Elliot Edwards. That ball is out of bound, though. Defended away. Hugo Martinez over to Vorbrick. Back to Martinez. And chill. Slynn. Keller House. And that's played away by Aguirre.
Knocked out of bounds with a Herd.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice corner kick.
Time for another Jeremiah's Italian Ice corner kick.
Looks like Elliot Edwards will take that.
Cool off with the official Statesville FC goal run blast.
Here comes the delivery. Oh! And that is a goal by, I believe, Coque Gracia. And a corner kick for Bristol, and they have tied it back up. We told you this is a very good team, a resilient team. Statesville does have a man down. Take a look at the goal here on the corner. Elliot Edwards. Almost looked like an own goal possibly by Papa Seydou Tangera. Either way, a goal for Bristol, and we are tied in the Hollow, 1-1. So back in action. Statesville FC, Bristol Rhythm, tied at 1 here in the 36th minute. Dominic Sanchez out to Sila. There's the new man, Anthony Ramirez. Ball played back, Bristol. Slynn. He's going to look for Booth. But that is cut out by Sela. Sela into Tagara. And Hudson. There's Anthony Ramirez. Sanchez. Inside to Danforth, back out to Sanchez. Dances inside. Controls it. Plays it to the middle. Oh, cut out there by Vorbrick, excuse me. The man in the mask. And Statesville, a little bit more attacking prowess here as the half has continued. But Bristol now with an opportunity. Cuts by his man. And it's Shepard away. Somehow, that will be a throw for Bristol. So Bristol in a battle here, 1-1. As the Herd in their final home match of the season. Most of the league is done. Somehow Bristol didn't play any games for like 3 weeks and then has played 6 at the very end here. Not sure how you can get scheduling like that, but that's pretty nice for them. Didn't have to worry about the early part of the season and gelling as a team. They got an extra 2 weeks of practice. Killian Sela battles with Booth on the outside, forced inside. He's able to win it. Dominic Sanchez can't touch it around. Oh, no, he gives her the throw. And yeah, I believe that one was incorrect as well, but hey, we'll take one. So throw for the Herd.
Reversal as they throw in for the Herd.
Sela to Sanchez. Sanchez turned over though. Slynn is everywhere. Very good player. Probably conference player of the year if you ask me. Slynn tries to spray one. Elliott Edwards flicks it on. Maybe too much, and Booth can't control it either. So 1-1 here in the 39th minute.
Don't forget to visit the Statesville NC Performing Arts Kids Zone.
Bristol with the majority of the chances.
And on down there and have a little fun.
However, scored, I believe, on an own goal. They like to muck up the middle on those corners. Basically, they play like, some people would say like Arsenal in the Premier League, or you just put 30 dudes in the net, around the ball, around the goal, and just kick it at them. It's a choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach halftime, please do not forget to have your chance.
LaRue steals that one. Anthony Ramirez. The new man from Thomasville, High Point. Also featured with Phillies MLS, Philly 2, the MLS next team. And Hudson goes long. Danny Carroll will chase that down. No one else pressing though. So 1-1. As both teams looking for the quick strike, it seems. Hugo Martinez thought about going long to Booth, didn't. Kai Slynn sprays it to Booth. Booth tries some trickery, but forced to go back to Clamler. Clamler to Vorbrick. And Vorbrick will eat up some space. Back to Martinez. Elliott Edwards. Ooh, chipped outside by Edwards. That's a good ball. Opportunity. He's going to play it inside, and Inchill can't get there. The Herd dodge another bullet. Statesville FC. As Nathan Booth is sat down, it looks like we might get a sub here. It looks like Nathan Booth's race is run. Trying to figure out who's going to be coming on for him on the far side. Nathan Booth checks out. He looks like he's limping. Hope he's okay. That's going to be a big loss for them in the playoffs if he's not able to keep going. He's a very good player on that left wing. Been a key cog in their team. I have to guess they're going to bring in that's number 19. Lucas Schofield? No, they brought on 99 Sam Kendall, but his name's not Sam. I learned that watching one of y'all's broadcasts. We'll figure that out here in a minute. But Sam Kendall checks in. He's more of a striker type. Opportunity for the Herd, though. Slate Danforth beats 1, beats 2, can't beat 3. I think if he falls down there, he might get the call, but he's too honest. Good defense, though, by Vorbrick. And a bad turnover by Aguirre. Patrick Enshill now. He's going to run on the end of this one. Callum Hudson, though, able to stay with him, and good defense by Callum Hudson. Able to stay with the very quick Patrick Enshill.
For the Herd, brings on a Genesis Fitness goal kick.
So Davis Kendall, that's what they call him up there in Bristol. Davis Kendall checks in for Bristol, replacing Nathan Booth.
Cafe, the official post-game meal of Statesville FC.
He is, I believe, scored a goal or two. Yeah, he scored 2 goals for this Bristol Rhythm team. Soren LaRue finds Anthony Ramirez. Ramirez breaks the line to Danforth. Danforth chips one out to Poder. And I think good defense by Keller Hall. So I have to give him credit there. Shepherded out without touching it. Kept Poder off the ball. Poder's been one of the more dangerous players for the Herd these last few weeks. So Hugo Martinez gets things started again for the Bristol Rhythm, coming up on stoppage time here in the first half in Greyhound Hollow, NPSL Southeast Conference action. Bristol Rhythm 8-0-0. Looking to go undefeated and untied. They, of course, ruined Hickory's season last year with the tie. So they know very much how important it is to play all of these games. Ball outside now. Opportunity. But he shoots right at him. Clamler. He's going to wish he had that one back. Right back the other way. Here comes Dominique Sanchez. Dominique Sanchez gets around Hugo Martinez. That's going to be a yellow card. Extended the elbow, then told him to get up. I get it if it's not a foul. But guys extending their elbow, asking for the ref to tell a guy to get up. That's a choice. That is a choice. Let's watch this replay. Ball goes quickly the other way. It's Dominique Sanchez able to get the lead off of a Danny Carroll flick. And then right here, gets beat, throws his bows, and then tells him to get up. Yeah, that's a yellow card. So, Statesville FC, the Herd, with an opportunity on the free kick. Anthony Ramirez, the new man out of Thomasville, High Point, plays the ball. Alote, and he gets there. Delmote, the big man. Klost is the 6'7" one. That's just Delmote. He's the littler of the two, which is crazy. That's a big goalie. Klost not here, like we said. Early in the season, they were swapping at half. It seems now they're just switching games. And it makes sense. You're 8-0. Both have some shutouts. Both have allowed some goals. So we're in stoppage time here in the first half. 1-1 tied in the Hollow. Bristol seeking immortality. Statesville seeking the 2 seed. I believe a bit of a David and Goliath scenario where Statesville wouldn't mind being a David today. Sela wins that ball. Ramirez. Back to Hudson. Hudson to Aguirre. Aguirre finds Ramirez. Ramirez getting involved here. Juanca Gonzalez and Carlos Zapata started most of the matches this season, but the beauty of the NPSL, they are forced to go back to college or to their country or to whatever the next situation was, I believe. Both had some opportunities to play the higher level. So they are not here today. We might see them in the playoffs, but for now, Anthony Ramirez and Seydou Tangera filling in admirably. LaRue finds Carroll. Carroll coming deep. Spin move. Nothing going, though. Back to Aguirre. Aguirre finds Potter in the middle. Potter launches one with that left foot. Anthony Ramirez finds Danforth. Danforth, oh, just a little too much there to Dominic Sanchez. He had him in space, but Sanchez couldn't chase down that by Danforth. Just a little too much at the end of that. 1-1 here. The need for umbrellas out the window as the shades finally creeping over the Greyhound Hollow. Free Nancy Creek flowing behind us. Broad Street in front of us. The Red Buffalo down the street where you can see all the watch parties. Cafe 220, the official post-game meal. Statesville FC down the street. Statesville Dance and Performing Arts. The Kids Zone down the street. It's truly a community. Truly a community effort. Truly a community coming together for soccer. It's beautiful. Sometimes it tears me up when I'm not around. 3 minutes into stoppage time here. The rhythm. Ooh, Soren LaRue gets in on that. They has been... Keller Halse has probably had the better of his number on that far side today. Keller Halse and Gracia. But that one right there, Soren LaRue got stuck in, the man from the mall. A few games ago, he tracked back. I said it was like he was speeding down the Mulsine Strait. So Elliot Edwards, he's got a cannon of the left leg. He will take the free kick. See how far out we are. Oh. Top of the 18 there. Free kick. Edwards delivers. Back post. No one there. Cleared away last minute by LaRue. And they're going to call a foul on, I believe, Bristol. As Trogdon is down right now. Wait, let's take a look to see on the corner. Oh, excuse me, the free kick by Edwards. Oh yeah, Trogdon just came through. Went brave with it. Was very brave with it. But sometimes when you're brave, him and Patrick Inchill, I don't really think anything nefarious for either one there. Looks like Trogdon's up. So 5 minutes here into stoppage time. Should be in the first half whistle any second now. LaRue fakes his man out. Plays it inside to Carroll. Ramirez. Danforth. Danforth plays him through. But Vorbrick able to shepherd him away. Good positioning by the Bristol Rhythm center back. It's Taylor Vorbrick with a good defensive play there. So, hey, that's the end of the first half. It is currently 1-1. A back and forth affair. To be fair, Bristol Rhythm have had some of the better opportunities. They've been a bit more dangerous around the net. However, Statesville FC scored first
Many other festivities.
on a nice counterattack and cross. While the Bristol Rhythm were able to get their goal on a corner kick. They've been very dangerous on set pieces. They've been dangerous attacking down that right flank. Big story, Nathan Booth went out limping, replaced by Davis Kendall. See how that affects the Bristol Rhythm here in the second half. But we head into the halftime break, tied 1-1 in the Hollow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that first half of NPSL action. Right now we have a very special halftime show, I guess, here, presentation. And we're honoring, obviously, United States this week with the 4th of July coming up. And here I have Sergeant Williams, who is going to be enlisting to the United States Army. Some of these Statesville Army recruits, correct? We have Tobias Winston, we have Jason Espada, and Dash Lassan. And with that being said, I'm going to pass this on to Sergeant Williams. Put your hands together for these guys. Special time.
I'm going to Statesville! So when you feel the honor, people that take the commitment to join the Army and to do greater things than what they're doing already. So first I have Tobias Winston. He's from Statesville, and he's joined the Army to be a housing system maintainer. If that sounds too smart for you, we're in the same boat. Right? Next I have Hadassah Mason, and she has joined the Army to be the United States Army Cavalry Scout. Gonna be finding the enemy. And then lastly, I have Jason Espada, and he has joined the Army to be an infantryman. So please give it up for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for El Jefe making his halftime appearance right here. As we get ready for the second half. This is one of El Jefe's favorite songs, the final countdown. And the louder you cheer, the more he'll dance, guys. Come on, let's cheer loud for El Jefe. See what kind of moves he's got. All right, maybe he's going to do a little run here, a little pull run. Let's go, El Jefe! Cheers! Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for El Jefe as we take you back to the stable.
Welcome back to Statesville, North Carolina. Greyhound Hollow, NPSL Southeast Conference action. Game number 9. Statesville 1, Bristol Rhythm 1. As we get ready to start the second half of action. First half goal for Statesville, Loic Poder. We believe assisted by Danny Carroll. So Loic Potter, excuse me, we gave it to Dominique Sanchez early. It's Loic Potter who has now scored in 4 straight. He has an assist or a goal in 5. I believe Danny Carroll had the assist. So, 1-1. And then Bristol's goal came, we believe, on an own goal off of Seydou Tangara on that corner kick. So, we are back in action, waiting for the kick to start the second half. Statesville FC, Bristol Rhythm. Bristol in a hunt for immortality. Statesville FC trying to get a home game in the inaugural season. Something not done often in an inaugural season for NPSL teams. Just to compare, Bristol Rhythm in their first season went 2-0-8. 2 wins, 8 losses in that inaugural season. I mean, even last year, 3-2-5. They've got 8 wins this year. They've got more wins this year than the history of their franchise entering the season. You can see what the experience of Kai Slynn and James Baku has done for this squad. Meanwhile, the Herd, Danny Carroll, Loic Potter, Slate Danforth, Dominique Sanchez up front. Ever since the additions of Loic Potter, the team has been on fire, as well as Danny Carroll. So opportunities for both teams. Statesville in their last match of the season. Regular season match, that is. Playoffs await for both of these squads, as well as Greenville United and the 865 Alliance. Foul there, called on the Rhythm. That just looked like a coming together between Seydou and I believe that was Koke Gracia. Lights on here in the Hollow now. Excuse me, that was Diego Thompson. That's probably why I told him to get up after he fouled him. He does enjoy doing that. Aguirre plays it to Danny Carroll. Danny Carroll finds Sanchez. Sanchez cuts it into Carroll. Carroll tries to play to Danforth, but Danforth was way offside. Turned over, though, on the high press. Potter tries to get it back, but can't. Aguirre wins that, though. LaRue. Trogdon finds Hudson. The new man, Anthony Ramirez. Aguirre to Hudson. Hudson finds space. Little one touch there by Danny Carroll. Potter almost gets it to Tangara. Can't squeak that last little bit of power out of it. And it's a turnover. However, Statesville maintains possession as Ramirez picks it up in the midfield. Danforth and Vorbrick convincingly wins that one. LaRue now back to Hudson. LaRue to Potter. Those two played college ball together at Bridgeport. The French Connection, as we've known to call them. Oh, that's a good ball. Can Sela get there? Oh, man. Just a bit too much for Killian Sela. Anthony Ramirez, though, looking to spray all over the field. A little bit of a deep line playmaker role. So the Rhythm come out of the back after the Genesis Fitness goal kick. Vorbrick to Delote. Ball played into the middle. Nicely done as Diego Thompson able to play that back to Hugo Martinez. Ball played over the top. Enchill is going to chase that down. He'll probably get there too. That's what he does, and that's just going to go out for a goal kick. As Aguirre tells Enchill to stand up. Looks like some old-fashioned trash talking on the pitch. It's good to see. I feel like either team, maybe Bristol does have, but Statesville definitely not found a true rival yet. Love playing Hickory down the road in the I-40 derby. Hudson standing on the ball as Bristol not really challenging in their half right now. Potter picks it up in the middle. Finds Ramirez. Ramirez has got a man on. That's Slynn. He gets it off to Potter. Potter, Ramirez, and Hudson. Statesville play around now a little. Aguirre flicks one over the top to Tangera. Tangera, oh, puts one across. Nicely handled by Delmote. Second half, it seems the opposite of the first. And Soren LaRue muscles. I believe that's Grassi off the ball, but that'll be a foul. That's the Frenchman. Too much for Gracia there. Ball on the far side. Seydu, Tagara. Ball one to Ramirez. Oh, Ramirez didn't see Potter. Turns it back around. He can play it anywhere, though. He's going to go over the top, and Dominic Sanchez not able to chase that down. So Robrick and Hugo Martinez working it out of the back for the Rhythm. Both teams playoff bound. Bristol has clinched, obviously, the Southeast Conference title. However, to represent the Southeast Conference in the NPSL playoffs, you must win your conference playoff. That does happen more often than not in the Southeast Conference. 8-0. They clinched it last 2 games ago when they beat Greenville United. Gracia to no one. Coverelli Edwards wins it off of Hudson. And Chill, and that's just a bit outside.
Shot by the Bristol Rhythm. On center shirt. Brings on a Genesis Fitness goal kick.
So a Genesis Fitness goal kick coming up. Hurd goes short. Turn it over. Potter gets in front of it. Second ball won, though, by Edwards. Edwards goes to that far side.
Caleb Trotman with the save for the Herder.
So Caleb Trogdon so far with some excellent saves. Corner kick that went in for Bristol was an own goal. After reviewing the tape, that's going to be a foul on Enschil, on Anthony Ramirez. The Herd go quick. Crowd really filled in quite nicely here tonight. Hot day. U.S. playing right now, Bosnia. It's 0-0 for those watching, listening here and watching that. Hugo Martinez. Anthony Ramirez, nice turn. Can't get it to Carroll, but he does. Carroll dances a little himself. And LaRue now. LaRue, Potter. LaRue, oh. Nice attempt at the interplay. The four, Ramirez, Carroll, Potter, and LaRue. Little ticky-tacky. Kai Slynn dances around both center D mids for the Herd. I said he'd be my vote for Conference Player of the Year watching him play all season. And I am a Statesville FC announcer. That is a good player, that Kai Slynn. Thompson to Gracia. Gracia was happy to go all the way back. Elliot Edwards doing his best Kai Slynn impression, but can't get that on the give and go. And the Herd maintain possession. Anthony Ramirez back to Aguirre. Hudson. Pass with Light Potter. Notice Potter's come back a bit more to pick up the ball. He's been on the wing a lot this season, so Statesville, Coach Nick Brown, Coach Bagba, Coach Lee all making some slight adjustments to the normal. Nice little pass back, shot for Statesville, and that's deflected out by Delmont. Great save by the Bristol keeper. That was a nice interplay by the Herd. An opportunity for Danny Carroll. You know he was looking for that side net. And Statesville with the majority of the second half chances here, 10 minutes in. A complete switch from the first half where it was 100% Bristol rhythm on the attack. If you switch back to the first game in Bristol, listening back and watching that broadcast, the Herd unlucky to not score in that first half, and then Bristol on a long ball clearance picked up by Patrick Enshiel. That was a bit of an unlucky play, and then a penalty late. So we've seen both styles of play work as Enshiel now takes one. Trogdon picks it up easily. We've seen Statesville with better chances. We've seen Bristol with better chances, but it seems the team right now sitting back a bit has been the one able to create the actual goal. But personally, I would rather have an attack all day. What dares to do is what some would say. Caleb Trogdon now stands on the ball. He's way out of his net. Anthony Ramirez sprays it to the outside. Dominique Sanchez plays with Sila. Sila finds Tangera. Tangera looking. Poder. Tangera. Ramirez. Aguirre. Aguirre finds Poder. Poder finding the space. Oh, and his ball not able to go through. Picked up quite nicely there by Bristol. Ramirez, though, able to force on the press, the turnover. Ball sprayed to the far side to LaRue. That's going to slow things down for the Herd, but they will maintain possession. Ramirez back to Hudson. Hudson. Statesville FC, Bristol Rhythm, 58th minute, NPSL Southeast Conference action. Live in Greyhound Hollow, Statesville, North Carolina, Statesville High School. Home of the Greyhounds. Quite a few Greyhound alumni in attendance in and around the stadium this evening. Good to see. Also have some North Iredell Raiders as well, South Iredell Vikings, some West Iredell Warriors. Just good to see the community come together in Iredell County around Statesville FC, the Herd. Remember, all wins. Go to Jeremiah's Italian Ice and get that free icy for anyone here in attendance. Big fan of the Bull Run Blast. Of course, we still have to decide Gallagher's home team player of the game. I would say Caleb Trogdon right now has my vote. Very early, though, 30 minutes plus to play. Corner kick for the Herd. Play to the back post. Danny Carroll can't get up to it. Hit hard, and that is snatched out of the sky. Slade Danforth thought he had enough of it. Opportunity for Statesville. They could not deliver. Diego Thompson now going the other way. Elliot Edwards. Here's where they've been dangerous on that wing. Bristol trying to get to the touchline. Defended away by Sila. Good play by the Frenchman. Killian has been he stepped in for Joe Lewis midway through the season after Joe got hurt at that right back, and Killian has not given that spot up. They have tried to find a way to get him in the lineup early in the year, moving him up to the right wing at times. But Killian has really handled that spot as he has taken over for Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis on the bench today, though. One of the outside backs. Ball cleared by the Herd. Danny Carroll chases. So early subs for both teams. Nathan Booth forced out earlier. Davis Kendall in for Bristol, while Anthony Ramirez replaced Eli Curley early in this match. Eli down the street from Alexander Central, coached by the great David McConnell. Coach McConnell, high praise for the Lenore Ryan product. I believe he was the captain there in AC. Hope he's okay. Hope that was maybe more of a tactical sub. Maybe it was something we've seen. Anthony Ramirez has been very solid since coming in his first minutes as a Herd player. Oh boy, Aguirre slipped. No danger there. Almost though. Trogdon's forced to clear, and that's just a bad turnover now in the middle. Here comes Gracia. Aguirre, he falls over. Kendall probably wish he's had that back. He probably could have taken a step or a touch. Ball flowed to the middle, and Caleb Trogdon takes that down. Potter plays it to the middle. Finds Ramirez. Ramirez chips it out nicely into Dominique Sanchez. Sanchez got a man on. Either no one told him or he just felt the pressure. That'll be a throw for the Herd.
Throw in for the Herd.
We have a substitution, it looks. As Bristol makes a move. Yes, James Baku is going to step in. James Baku, one of those players I've been talking about for Bristol. They've got a couple that have been here with their program since it was founded in 2023. Their first season of play in 2024. Of course, 5 total wins in their first 2 years. 8 this year, top of the conference. There's a talk about who could fill the void of Appalachian and Hickory. Looks like Bristol has filled that void as they are eyeing a regular season title for the entire NPSL. Meanwhile, in the inaugural season, Statesville FC looking to make history of their own. A home playoff game in an inaugural season. Teams that have done that, I believe, are Hickory and Appalachian. So you're looking at a very short list of teams that are able to step into these leagues and have an impact in terms of finishing in the top 2. Bristol did beat Hickory in that game last year to end their unbeaten, untied season. So let's see what happens here today. Long ball to Danny Carroll. He chases it down, but no way. Delmo is there. James Baku. Usually you got, when you have James Baku, Nathan Booth, and Patrick Enchill on that side of the field, it is a problem for the opposing teams. So the Herd will have to be cognizant. Potter has been kind of moving around a bit on that wing, so hopefully, tactically, Nick Brown's squad has accounted for that. Ball deflected in. Patrick Enchill falls over. That won't be anything. Very much like the World Cup, they'll tell him to get up. LaRue. To Hudson. Hudson finds the space. Danforth. Danforth to Carroll. Anthony Ramirez now comes out of that. And here comes the Herd. Space and time. Behind Danforth, though. Gets behind Carroll. Carroll can't win it back. It looks like Gracia wins the ball. And a foul. Hugo Martinez. He's been on the ball a lot, the center back. Blake Potter wins the ball back, takes it to Trogdon. Iceland presses it. Statesville playing dangerously right now. There you go, Callum Hudson. There's a no-nonsense. Aguirre and Ramirez, a little too comfortable. So Callum Hudson does a very English thing, plays that very long. Elliot Edwards now on the way back. Diego Thompson to Baku. Nice interchange by Thompson, Edwards, Baku. Goes all the way back to Martinez. He'll find Clamler. Clamler plays one over top. Hudson can't get all of it. Potter is going to be in a bit of a challenge now with Baku. Baku wins that. As Bristol now pressing forward. Great tackle by Anthony Ramirez. This could set the counterattack. He takes his time. Danny Carroll finds Potter. Baku, though, gets his foot in right at the last second. "66 minutes gone in Statesville FC's 10th NPSL regular season match. The final home game of the season. And that's a good ball. Caleb Trogdon out of his goal. He stops that one. Forces the way on the outside. Patrick Enshill can't stop that. And Caleb Trogdon. Caleb Trogdon, ladies and gentlemen. Introduce yourself to Statesville. Introduce yourself to the Bristol Rhythm.
Excellent defense out there.
They didn't see you in Bristol. And Caleb Trogdon is single-handedly keeping the Rhythm out of the net. The only man to score on him today, Seydou Tangera, his teammate. Substitute here for Statesville. I had to guess we're going to bring on our new man. Don't know who, if that's Carell.
Throwing from the herd.
So Justin Ortiz actually is who checks in. So I believe Ortiz came in for Danforth, and he'll kind of move in the middle. Patrick Enshill not happy with what happened to himself there. Callum Hudson to LaRue. LaRue to the middle. Potter. Potter to Ramirez. I figured that was Ortiz. I think he got a haircut. So Ortiz on the wing. He's got speed. LaRue. Ramirez chips it. LaRue traces it. Can't get there. Let's go back to that replay of the save. This was not it. Let's go back to that save by Caleb Trogdon just now, the double save. Bristol, the nice through ball. I believe that was Kai Slim or Davis Kendall. Didn't matter. Made the first one, then Patrick Enshill was forced to go wide. So Caleb Trogdon right now, player of the match, easily, if this result holds. Kai Slim picks it up in the middle. Ball out to Baku. Baku to Slin. Slin back to Vorbrick. And Vorbrick to Martinez. Statesville's transition from their 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-2. And Bristol obviously going to attack differently than they defend. But they've currently got what looks like a 2 4-3-3. So that ball's wasted by the Rhythm. Throw in on that far side for Killian Sela.
Throw in for the Herd.
Referee tells Sela to go back. All of our drone shots today, of course, brought to you by True North Aerial Imagery. Stanley Parker and his crew here, as they are every home match. Been an awesome addition this season to the broadcasts. Maybe we'll have a wireless low cam Bristol one day. 70th minute, 20-ish to go here in the Hollow. 1-1. I'm sure fans from El Farolito watching. Fans from around the NPSL watching. As the #1 team in the league. In a battle right now with your inaugural Statesville FC Herd. Statesville currently, of course, they've got the extra games played. The highest scoring team in the conference versus the best defense in the whole NPSL. And that is a foul on the Herd. The coaching staff not happy with that, but I'm going to say that was a foul. I'm going to agree with the referee for once. So, 1-1. Greenville United, 865. They were watching. Right now, Greenville would be the 4, Statesville the 3, 865 the 2, Bristol the 1 if the results hold. What does that mean in terms of who plays who? Who knows? It's the NPSL. They get to pick. It's not always based on number. Sometimes it's geography. I could make assumptions. But what's the point? I don't think any of us want to play any of us. I mean that. I think Greenville 865, this Bristol team, ourselves, these are 4 difficult teams. I mean, just look at the standings. You know, Bristol aside, 4 losses for Statesville, 4 losses for Greenville, 4 losses for the 865 Alliance. All kind of to each other. Counter-attack now. Diego Thompson with too much sauce on that to Enshill. Enshill, though, is going to try to beat him to the byline. Can't get there. Good defense. And played right to Anthony Ramirez. Ramirez going to look to go the other way, and he has players. Potter. Ortiz needs to get on his horse. You're not just going to outrun James Baku. That's what I thought. That was not the way you're going to play that one. You need to get going. Here comes Potter, though. Physicality of Lloyd Potter. Nope. Almost gets through there. I believe that's Coque Gracia. It's a very good player as well. Diego Thompson and Patrick Enshill down on the far side. That is not good news for the Bristol Rhythm. That is the leading score for your undefeated Bristol Rhythm. I don't have a stopwatch on him, but if I had to guess, one of the fastest players in this league. And he is down right now. I think we might also get our hydration break. I think we will. So 1-1 right now in the Hollow. Here is what's at stake. A win, the 2 seed for Statesville FC. A draw, the 3 seed. Greenville would be 4. 865 would be 2 based on head-to-head record.
Try the Bull Run Blast, the official Statesville FC flavor of Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Also sponsors the corner
And Bristol Rhythm right now 8-0-0, undefeated, untied, currently top team in the entire NPSL. At no point in the 18-year history of the Southeastern Conference have we had a completely undefeated, untied team. So they are on a quest, not just for invincibility, but for immortality in the Southeast Conference. You got Up in the Mid-Atlantic, Ristosi, they've got a loss. Erie Commandeers, up there in the Great Lakes Conference, they have a draw. They went 10-1. El Farolito, they have a draw. So right now, looking at Bristol, 2 games here. They have about 15 to 20 minutes to get one back, to get that win. Statesville, though, on the other side, we're looking for a home playoff match. First time in the history of our franchise in an inaugural season. You know, you aim for excellence. You know, I think the line from Vince Lombardi is, when you aim for perfection, you'll settle on excellence. Both teams with an opportunity to get some coaching in. Coach Nick Brown instructing the herd troops. Coach Dave Nienhuis obviously signed this year. Some would say that he is the catalyst of this. Like I said, 5 total wins in their first 2 seasons in existence, and 8-0 this year. And the big change I see is that Dave Nienhuis has really changed this team's mentality. Also, if you were watching at home, the United States of America has taken the lead in the 45th minute. It is 1-0. The United States has taken the lead. Looks like a Florian Balagon goal.
Update, we have the score.
So,
USA 1, Bosnia 0.
the United States of America up 1. Bosnia 0. Statesville 1. Bristol 1. Just a little soccer in the summer of soccer here in North Carolina. So, time to get back underway. James Baku will, I believe, have a kick here, as it was a foul. Turnover, opportunity for Bristol. Looks like Kai Slynn. He runs into that one. And Kai Slynn is the engine for this Bristol team that will not let them lose. And that was on display there. Baku back in the game. He has really shut down Potter. They've had to move Potter around since he's come in. But here comes Ramirez, the new man. Oh, he dances by Garcia. Plays a great ball. Justin Ortiz does have the wheels, but so does Vorbrick. Wow. Wow. Taylor Vorbrick. I did not know your game, young man. Chases that down. But the herd will have the throw. Ortiz looks for LaRue. LaRue kind of the left back now, going forward. Killian Sela, he gets by his man. Can't get by the second. And back pass, back heel. Slows it down a bit for the herd. And there's Callum Hudson. Yep, they get it back. Long throw for Bristol. Aguirre. He goes muscle in there. And he looks like he might have been shaken up on that. He was off the pitch, so the ref said play on.
Come on, Bristol!
And there's Aguirre again. Makes the play. He's cramping up. What a hustle play by Josh Aguirre. He went, made the tackle on the wing. Ref said play on. You can just lay there or all I care. Sprinted back onto the pitch. And then just cleared that all the way above our press box. That might be in the Free Nancy Creek. And it looks like we're going to have a trainer come out. So 1-1 right now.
Every game! Go Bristol!
So maybe a sub for Statesville. I don't think we're going to get one necessarily. And for anyone here, I think post-match, we're over to the Red Buffalo for this USA finale as soon as we're done here and enjoy some Outlaw for the official beaters of Statesville FC. So, Josh Aguirre trying to stretch out that calf. I'm worried, or not worried, but I think we're going to be forced to substitute him off. Looking at the bench, you can see Carter Knipple. You can maybe see Joe Lewis come on. Looks like we're readying 2 subs on the far side. Coach Nick Brown talking to the 4th official over there. All this obviously will get added on to the end of the match. So what's on the line here? Statesville FC has to win to get the 2 seed. I'll explain why. If Statesville ties, they will be tied with 865 and Greenville United. 3-way tie goes to a head-to-head mini table. 865 is 3-0 against Greenville and Statesville. Then you go to another mini table. We are 1-1 against Greenville, so that would be your 3-way tie. 865, Statesville, Greenville as things stand for 2, 3, 4. That is the only way. 865 getting those 2 wins against the Herd earlier in the year. That famous 3-0 first half, first 20 minutes. Statesville bravely came back. Danny Carroll made his introduction to the squad. However, that fell short. So Statesville not with the tiebreaker there. So 865 has the tiebreaker in any ties between Greenville. They were all offside. Versus Ortiz and Danny Carroll, but that went out of bounds, so we'll get a throw. So that is the situation. Greenville can get up to a 3, most likely the 4. They're in that position. 865, the most to gain and or lose from this match. Of course, Bristol and their quest for immortality in the NPSL, the history of the league. That is what is on the line tonight. All over the top. Danny Carroll tries to chase it down, and they're going to call a late foul there. Probably deserved, as the extraman Englishman. He might have said something to the referee there. No? All right. Taylor Vorbrick to Hugo Martinez. And back to Vorbrick. Vorbrick takes the space. Turned over by Kai Slynn, unlike Kai Slynn, the captain. Ball played down the backside. Danny Carroll can't get around Vorbrick, the big man. And that is going to be a foul on Danny Carroll. He might pick up a yellow there. That was a physical play. He's just going to get a talking to. One more, he said. And Danny Carroll and Taylor Vorbrick went all the way on that one. Good physicality, good battle. Probably a little bit much from Danny. But that's the sort of player Danny Carroll is. I imagine that's what they're saying at home about Diego Thompson as well when I was making some comments about him. So, Danny Carroll takes the ball the whole 120 yards. Taylor Vorbrick and him. And I will say, only because I know Greenville United might be listening, nobody on these teams like Hayden Summerfield. That man is a pest, and I mean that as a compliment. Watched him against this Bristol team. Watched him, obviously, against us. Hayden Summerfield, you can play on my team any day of the week. That kid, love it. Love that tenacity. Back to the teams here, 1-1. As it looks like we're about to get to halftime in the USA game, so you can focus fully here. The last 10-ish minutes of action, 1-1. Bristol and Statesville in the Hollow. Gracia takes space, finds Edwards. Edwards to the far side. Ball crossed in. Kai Slynn shoots, turns, and Caleb Trogdon. There are 3 things in life that you can be sure of: death, taxes, and Caleb Trogdon.
Genesis famous goal kick. Throwing to the herd.
And Danny Carroll now draws a foul from Warbrick as that battle's getting physical.
Foul called against Bristol FC. Free kick for the herd.
So a dangerous location for Statesville. Let's take a look at our drone cam. Let's see the angle on this one. Somehow still not halftime in the U.S. game. Anthony Ramirez is going to stand over it. About
Ramirez with the kick for the herd.
25 yards from goal. I would assume they're going to run a little play here, run a pick off of Soren LaRue, and you're going to find late sub now for Bristol. Did not see who that was. I believe it was one of the midfielders. It was either Gracia or Thompson. We'll figure that out in just a second. Here comes the ball from Ramirez. He goes front post. That's flicked on, and that's off the upright, the football upright. But a nice little play for the herd, but it does not come off. So we go the other way. Bristol with the big one over the top. And she'll not in. However, there is still a counter-attacking opportunity. Slynn pokes it out to Baku. Baku tries to play it in. Defended well by Justin Ortiz. And you can see how much this means to both teams right now. Statesville needs a win for the 2 seed, but there will be something to say about the draw. So corner kick.
Corner kick.
They've been dangerous, and that's a little too far, and no one able to chase that down.
Shot goes out of bounds.
And a wasted opportunity for Bristol. Halftime officially 1-0 USA Bosnia. So we'll see you guys here. All focused in for the final 10-15 minutes of the Statesville FC regular season. 1-1. Elliot Edwards tries to sneak one in. Kai Slynn somehow comes out with that. Elliot Edwards distributes to the far side. Big cross. And that will be a Genesis Fitness goal kick. Another player down for Statesville. It is a hot day today. Looks like that might be Anthony Ramirez. Ramirez has joined the team late in the season. The 2 boys from Bogota had to go back to school and home. So I believe Anthony Ramirez is the one down, getting stretched out.
Reminder that the official time is kept on the field.
So coming up on about 2:20 left in the match. Of course, 2:20 is the official post-game meal for Statesville FC. I believe we'll have a lot of stoppage time, which does favor Bristol. They've had quite a few matches where they have come from behind or have snatched wins from the jaws of ties. Yet that was Anthony Ramirez who's down.
Ramirez makes his way off the field.
Don't know if there's a sub, or if there's even a sub to make. Looks like Joe Lewis who will be coming on. So Anthony Ramirez's first match as a member of the Herd. Shows a lot of promise. Kind of filled into that role that Carlos Zapata had been so good at all season. Juan Gonzalez had stepped in as well. Been a bit of a deep line playmaker. Eli Curley had started the match in that position. So, Statesville, let's see who they ended up bringing in. It's either Joe Lewis or McCourt. I would assume it's Joe Lewis. Yeah, Joe Lewis steps in. So Joe Lewis in for Ramirez. Dominique Sanchez wins the throw. Wins the foul. '90th minute in Greyhound Hollow. We have no idea how much stoppage time remains. I would say at least 6. It's probably a bit more. Ortiz makes the first man miss. Can't make the second. Baku gonna play the long ball to Davis Kendall. And that is won by Julian Sagnol. Sagnol gets in front of that Elliot Edwards shot. And it's good to see Julian Sagnol back in the lineup. I believe Sagnol had missed a few matches. Personal reasons. Josh Aguirre had stepped in, but Sagnol, the club captain in our first season, nice to have him back on the pitch. Nice little sub to have. Poder takes that down, finds LaRue. LaRue comes at it with speed. Tackled from behind. That miss. LaRue then goes for a tackle. Buja Dennett is also checked in. And foul called on the rhythm. I think they'll agree with that. So in stoppage time in Greyhound Hollow. History on the line for Bristol. I'm sure the alumni from Chattanooga, from the New Orleans Jesters in 2017, that 2024 Appalachian squad. Diego Thompson, though, he digs past that. Clipped it over the top, Caleb Trogdon. And that 2025 Hickory FC squad, all watching intently to make sure their records stand. Seeing some traveling Bristol fans here, not happy with assume how long Caleb is taking to kick it. Didn't seem that abnormal. Looks like a sub. Elliot Edwards is going to come out. He is a very dangerous player. He is going to come off, and I think as a Statesville FC fan, a breath of just a relief. Now let's hope that Elliot Edwards, that left foot of his, dangerous. Goodness, it's dangerous. All right, long throw. LaRue hits it back, beats his man. Ortiz, 1-2 to LaRue. LaRue plays it across the middle. Is there anybody there? Oh, almost a mix-up on the defensive side, but we'll have a corner for the Herd. That was an opportunity. So at Jeremiah's Italian Ice corner. Nice little interplay there. Ortiz let LaRue take it on that outside. So an opportunity. Here comes a corner. That's way too much. I don't even think that goes in. So, 95th minute.
Genesis
Time ticking away on the regular season for Statesville. Bristol has one more match on July 4th. They have a home match, I believe. Handball. Correct call.
Handball called against Bristol.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to stick around after the game for the Gallagher home team player of the game that will be announced.
Statesville going to, I think, going to take this one all the way into the box if they can. They go to that far side. And that is too much. And a throw for Bristol.
Not much time left on the clock, Bird. Let's go. We got to hear it, fans. They got to hear it. Cheer for it. Let's go.
Ball out of bounds. Should be a throw for the Herd. It is.
This might be the last chance you get to cheer on the Herd. That's right, guys. We need a win. Might get a home game.
Counter now for Bristol. You got to play all the game for Bristol. That's a foul. Bad foul. Foul nonetheless by Justin Ortiz. Slynn will have the free kick. These are the types of plays that Bristol has capitalized on all season. Not sure how much time is left. Can't be much. Slynn delivers it in for Bristol. Caleb Trogdon's coming. He punches it out. Ball now played to the wing. Great tackle by the Herd. And that'll be a throw for Statesville. So the Herd's wall stands. The defense stands tall. Baku picks it up in the middle. Slynn. Big ball across. Celia can't get there, but neither can a rhythm player. Far side outside the 18 right now. Ball played back. He's going to put a cross in. LaRue clears it. And Danny Carroll's going to come with it. Justin Ortiz on the outside. Ball hits the back, I think, of... It does not matter. It doesn't matter. That is the ball game. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hickory FC, Appalachian FC, Jacksonville, and Chattanooga, you're welcome. You are welcome. As Bristol will not go 10-0. That much is guaranteed. Bristol ties their first match of the season. Statesville FC can't pick up the win, but does pick up the 3 seed in the playoffs. We will wait on who we will face next. One would assume we will play a 6-5, and Bristol will play Greenville. Based on traveling scenarios, I don't see Greenville having to drive all the way to Knoxville, Tennessee. That would be a bit harsh. So, your 1 seed, Bristol Rhythm AFC, have a blemish. They still can go undefeated and set an invincible season. However, there is a blemish for Bristol. Statesville, meanwhile, 4 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses in the inaugural season. A successful one in terms of a playoff appearance. I know they wanted that 2 seed, but there is more to play. Statesville FC will play on July 8th. Make sure to follow our social medias. Shout out to all the fans. Fan of the game today, Brian Buckhour. Watched it all up here in the press box with us. Thanks, Dad. But a spectacular effort by Statesville FC. Bristol Rhythm. I see why they are the #1 team in the conference. 1-1, your final result. We'll see you in a week. Stay tuned to all the socials. I'm Brian Buckhour for Buckhour Productions and Broadcasting. Statesville FC, Epic, Gallier home team, Genesis Fitness, Jeremiah's Italian Ice, WAME, Bright Wave, 220 Cafe, Statesville Dance Performing Arts, my homie Ozzy Walker on camera 1 all season long, my man Stanley Parker flying in the sky with True North aerial imaging. If you need any drone stuff, I don't know, any drone stuff, I'm telling you, call Stanley and his group. But 1-1, the inaugural season. Statesville FC signing off from Greyhound Hollow on the regular season. We will see you all in the playoffs, hopefully at the Red Buffalo.